so we will start our training for today. So my name is Michelle and this is my partner.
I'm Wijen.
Okay, so we'll be in charge of today's training, but if you have any questions, right, you can just type in the Q&A box, then we will answer it at the end of the training. So if no issue, then we will start our training right now. Before we go into the system, first we will let you know some statutory information that you should know as a HR. Then only we will show you how it works in the system, how to use the system to calculate all these things. Okay.
So actually there's 5 statutory body in our Malaysia. First is EPF, SOCSO, EIS, PCB and also HRDF. Let's go through one by one first. Now we will go through EPF or KWSP. For the employee, we must contribute for 11%, but employer must provide 12% or 13%. How we know employer need to provide for 12% or 13%? Actually, if your wages is under 5,000, your employer should contribute for 12%. But let's say your wages is less than 5,000, then your employer will be provide 13%. How about senior citizen? Actually, employee for above 60 years old does not require to provide any KWSP EPF, but only employer must provide 4% for the KWSP. Let's go on to SOCSO. SOCSO category is separated into 2 categories, first and also the second. The first category is like us. We must provide for SOCSO and then we are categorized under first category. Who is under second category is actually employee that up more than 60 years old.
Okay, so the latest government rules, right, is for if you are foreigner or local, right, you will be under the first category. So both side, employer will have to contribute to SOCSO. So this one is the latest announcement by SOCSO and EIS. So you can just refer, but not to worry, because if you are using SQL Payroll, right, all this is already automated for you, including for the EPF percentage. Okay, so for the increase of ceiling, right, if you can just refer to this table. So previously the ceiling is set at 5,000. So meaning if your salary is more than 5,000, the maximum contribution for SOCSO will be 24 ringgit 75 cents for employee, and then employer is 86 ringgit. But moving on, they have increased the limit to 6,000, so the contribution amount will be increased from here. Okay, so same thing, it's the announcement from SOCSO. From 5,000, it has been increased to 6,000. So if you are our SQL Payroll user, right, you just have to make sure that you have upgraded your SQL to at least version 212, then the system will automate for you. So system can detect which one is foreigner, which one is local employee. Okay, and then for EIS also, it's also can be detected from the system. So these are a few categories that which type of person is excluded from EIS. So the first thing is employee less than 18 years old, or employees more than 60 years old, and then new employee age 57 and above, meaning previously they have not contributed to SOCSO before, but at the age of 57, they join your company. So in this case, right, they are not required to contribute any EIS. And public sector, meaning it's government workers, self-employed, domestic worker, foreign worker, and employer with no employer, meaning those sole proprietor, they are not required to contribute EIS. Because for your information, right, EIS meaning if you are retrenched from the company, or easy to say, if you are fired from the company, right, you are allowed to claim allowance from EIS as a welfare. So it is up to a maximum 6 months. So that's why for the last category, employer with no employee, because you are the only person, you are the only boss, that's why you will not fire yourself, so you are not entitled. So just for your information, is maximum 6 months of welfare from EIS if you are fired from the companies. But if you resign yourself, right, then you are not entitled for this one. Okay, so this one is what we mentioned, financial assistance for up to 6 months due to you have a loss of income from retrenchment. Okay, and then over here, meaning what type of income you are required to contribute to EIS. So quite straightforward, meaning the salary, allowance, commission, overtime holidays, working on the holidays, and then paid leave. So can say is almost all the income are required to contribute for EIS. And then exemption from EIS, meaning what type of income are not required to contribute. So first one, traveling allowance. So traveling allowance actually exempted from EPF and EIS also, and SOCSO. And then EPF, claims, gratuity, bonus, benefit in kinds. So any income that's not listed in the previous slide, then is not required to contribute for EIS. Okay, and then the next is PCB, or what we know from is the income tax. So in the system, right, it's also auto calculate for you, but for your information, in every year they will have a new category for tax relief. So you have to refer, you can wait for the budget, or you can just refer from LHDN website from this one. So for example, KWSP, they have a maximum tax relief of 4,000 per year. And then SOCSO plus EIS is maximum 350 for 1 year. And then if you're not sure what kind of transaction that is exempted from, what kind of transaction can be claimed under tax relief, right? You can just view our table or go over to LHDN website. So a few examples is medical expenses for parents or for self, or any COVID test. So this one is usually valid during the MCO, during the COVID period, because everyone will be going for the vaccine, they will buy the test kit, all those things. And then, like I mentioned, every year they will have changes on the tax relief portions. So it can refer this. For individual, there's a disabled person, right? Previous year in 2024, it's 6,000, but in 2025, it's increased to 7,000. So same thing for disabled husband and wife or disabled child, there is increase of the tax relief. Okay, and then for the sport activities also, there is no changes, so remaining at 1,000. Okay, so this one you can go through yourself and then check which one is applicable to you. So if you're not sure what is income tax, right, it's all this category that is allowed by LHDN, that all the expenses spent on this category, you can use it as a tax relief, meaning you can use the receipt to make your income lower, so the tax payable will be lower. So just reminder, you have to keep the receipt for all these transactions for many years. So in case LHDN come and audit you, they come and check on you, right, you have to provide the supporting documents as proof. Okay, so you can just go through yourself for all of this. And then the last is HRDF, meaning it's a Human Resource Development Funds. So the purpose of this is because the government, they have to encourage our employer, our boss, to send us for training to improve our skills, right? So HRDF is a body that control all of this. So through the salary and fixed allowance of yours, the company will take out 0.5 or 1% as a contribution to HRDF. So this amount is paid by the company, yeah? So it's not deducting from the staff salary like the previous statutory body. All those contributions is deducted from staff portions, but HRDF is solely just on employer portions. So the income for this is the wages plus fixed allowance, and then times with 0.5 or 1%. So how to determine all this, right? If your company, they have 5 to 9 local employees, then it is optional to HRDF, but if you want to contribute, then 0.5%. And if your company have more than 10 local employees, right, then it is compulsory to contribute, which is 1%. So same thing, just the salary and then the fixed allowance are required to pay for HRDF. Other types of income are exempted. Okay, and then this table, right, it's just a summary of what kind of income, what kind of income that it's required to pay, to contribute to statutory payments. So you can take a screenshot of this page. So in case if your company have any additional income you are not sure, you can just come back to refer to us. Okay, and then this one is a SOCSO and PCB. You can take a screenshot also. Okay, and then the last one is the HRDF, so there's only 2 contributions. So just a reminder, right? One person's salary, you are required to contribute to 5 different government bodies. So this guideline actually will be helpful for you to prevent you from contributing the wrong amount, or you have forgotten to which type of income have to contribute. So take a screenshot and then just keep it. So if failure to comply to any of these, right, then they will have a heavy penalty. So if 5 bodies you have not contribute correctly, you have getting penalty from 5 different departments also. So have to be careful. Okay, so this is just a brief overview of some HR rules that you have to know. So they will get our technical team to switch over to our software screen, so you can see how to do this setting in the system, and then how the system will auto calculate all these things for you.
Okay, so this will be our payroll looks like. So first of all, we will do set up for our company profile first. We can go to File at the left side corner, and then we go for Company Profile. And here, actually, this is the setting you need to key in for your company. So followed by the company name first, followed by registration number. Actually, using our software, you can directly search the registration number out with clicking these buttons. Okay, after you choose this search button, actually the registration number is auto key in here. Okay, so here you can remark your company, maybe it's latest or, okay, let's say latest -2025 lah. Okay, followed by the attention, your company attention names, followed by the company address, country, and also the postcode, phone number, email, industry code, and also the time zone. So this will be keyed in the general part. So basically for the general part, actually it's a company details, address, and so on. Okay, so let's moving to the EPF part. Okay, for this part actually is important because the data here will be affected in the EPF form later. So it will be useful for you. So you can key in your EPF branch, employer number, code, address, and also on phone number, fax. Okay, let's go on to the tax part. Okay, for this one, if you got tax branches and also the address, you may key in here. For social also, if you got a social branch, you can key in here, followed by the employer number, social address, and phone number. Okay, the HRDF rate actually is setting by here. As Michelle got mentioned just now, if your company have more than 10 employees, you are mandatory to contribute for 1%, but for 5 to 9 employees, you are optional to provide for 0.5%. So you can key in this part. Let's say we will provide 1% for the HRDF. Okay, for this is the zakat. If your company got zakat employer number, you may key in here. Okay, same goes to Tabung Haji. Okay, for this one, officer name. So you can key in your officer name here, followed by IC, job title, and official phone. Okay, you may key in dealer company details if you got in the dealer part. Okay, followed by the email setting. This is very important for you if you want to send batch email to your employee. For example, you got 10 employees. Instead of I want to send email their payslip one by one, I can directly use the batch email function here. So we must do the setting here. Okay, for the EHRMS, this one actually is our payroll mobile apps that allow your employee to apply for the leave, and also for the ETMS lah, for the clock in clock out. Okay, so if your company need to have multi-level approval, you may tick it here, and also you can tick the send e-leave email notification. So when your employee apply for the leave, you can receive an email. Followed by this cloud icon. For this one, for example, your employee want to apply for a medical leave. This drive actually is useful for the attachment. So your employee can attach the attachment, and then the attachment will be reviewed by your manager or HR department. So you can turn on the drive here. So after it, we will save. Okay, so that's all we setting for our company profile. So I will moving to maintain employee. So we can go to human resource, maintain employee here. Okay, for let's say I want to create a new employee, we can just click new here on the right tab. So the code actually is system auto-generated, but let's say you want to create you want to manual assign it also can. For example, is MLY001. It depends on your company. But let's say if you didn't assign it manually, the system will automatically assign it. For job title, you can assign it also. Maybe supervisor. Name. Let's say Michelle is the supervisor. Okay, followed by the personal details here. So gender, date of birth, let's say, okay, followed by the employee address.
Okay, for your information, right, the information from this personal page is very important, so you are compulsory to fill up, because for the date of birth, right, it is for us to determine which type of contribution you are using for. Because for EPF, also yes, they have different rate for under 60 and over 60 years old. So the system will auto determine based on the date of birth here. So in this case, right, my age is 25, so it will be using the below 60 years old percentage. But if let's say today I exceed 60 years old, right, the system will automatically convert for you. So you don't have to come in and check which employee if over 60 this month, then you don't have to manually change the contribution type. So this one is important.
Okay, let's moving on to the country. We can choose the employee country, followed by the postcode. Okay, after keying the postcode, actually the city and the state is auto-generate here. Okay, followed by the phone number, let's say. Okay, followed by the employee email here. Actually, the email here very important, as this will be the key to access to the HRMS app for this employee. So Michelle need to use the email here to log in her mobile apps. Okay, so followed by the IC, passport if have lah. But the passport is necessary for the foreign worker lah. So you need to key in the passport here, passport number. Okay, let's moving on to the grouping part. This grouping part actually is allowed you to do filtering. For example, I got different branch. I can set different branch and then later I can preview it. Okay. Actually, if you like, you want to create another branch. Actually, here got a new button which is a fast key you can create for the branch. We just need to key in for the code. For example, it's Penang, followed by the description, and then we just save it. Okay, after we save it, you can choose a drop down, and then you can see actually the Penang is here. So you can choose and assign the employee to the branch. For same goes to HR group and also department. This is the fast key that you can just directly click the new. But let's say you want to go to human resource, maintain branch, maintain department, also can go through here. Okay, followed by the nationality. If the employee is foreigner, you can choose another nationality here lah. Okay, so followed by project, job, task, public holiday calendar, leave group, work OT. This one is based on your company setting lah. You can assign to different groups and projects. Okay. Okay, let's go into family part. This one is useful for when maybe this employee face some issues, emergency, then this will be the emergency number we can call and find it here. So let's say you got this employee family details, we can include it inside here lah. Okay, so let's on to payroll info. This one, the wages type will be default. Okay, but let's say our case, our company got foreign worker, so we can click the new, and then we create the different wages types. Let's say is FW for foreign worker. Okay.
Okay, another thing, right? If just now that I mentioned in the beginning, there's certain income that you have to contribute to different department, right? So if you are new in HR, you are not sure, and you don't have any guideline, right? Actually, the system has already default for you. So for example, this is wages, right? When I click on new, you can see the contribution at the bottom is already auto tick for you, meaning by following the law, the wages or the salary have to contribute to all these things that have tick over here. So you are flexible to choose whether you want to contribute or not.
Okay, for example, this case, foreign workers are not required to contribute for HRDF. We can just untick it. Maybe foreign worker, this employee will contribute to EPF, also PCB. We just tick it on. Okay, and then we can just save, and then we can choose the wages type here. Okay, and then we can key in the wages amount for this employee. Let's say it's 5,000. Okay, and then this bonus wages. Okay, let's move on to contribution. This one will be our default contribution. Okay, but let's say we have another type of contribution. We can just create it here. We can just create the new, and then we create it here. For example, is okay. You can see actually the employee EPF rate and also employer rate got an A inside the column. Okay, what is this A? This A actually you can refer here is the auto EPF rate. So for employees who receive monthly wages of 5,000 and below, the portion should be 13% with effect from January 2012 lah. So for example, you want to manually assign it, also can. You just remove the A followed by the 11%, 13% like this. So if like you keep it as A, the system will auto key in the EPF rate for you. So for some company, maybe the SOSO is borne by employer, the EIS is borne by employer, you can just tick on this column. So our system will auto calculate, and then the employee will no need to pay for the SOSO lah. So and the employee will help the employee to pay. Okay, so for this STD calculator, we will use the computerized calculation lah, which auto. Okay, and then this working day per month and also the working hour per day, this one will be important for you, as this one will be the OT calculation will based on here lah. So let's say the employee work for 27 days, the 1 days will be OT lah, and followed by the working hours per day here. So we can take the overtime calculation based on maintained employee here to allow the system auto calculation. Okay, followed by the frequency here. You can see our system is default, got two types, default frequency and also half month payroll. Let's say because some company may have pay for wages 2 times per month. Maybe they separate it into 2 times. So we can choose the frequency as half month payroll. Okay, followed by the payment method. The payment method here actually is the company payment method to the employee. So let's say our company using Maybank to pay to employee. Yes. Okay, we can just create a payment method as a Maybank here, followed by the okay, you can choose the bank followed by the bank account number here. Okay, and then we must choose the payment type as a direct transfer, and then we save it. Okay, so we can choose the payment method here. So our employer, our company will use Maybank to pay to the employee. Okay, the bank here will be the receiver bank, which is your employee using which bank to receive the wages. Okay, for let's say is mBank, we can just choose mBank, followed by the bank account number. Okay, and then we moving on this part, the tax resident here, very important, as this one will be affect the tax calculation here. Okay, so if like you are a Malaysia workers, so you must take this tax resident. Okay, got a special case for the foreign worker here. The government rule is if the foreign worker works for more than 183 days, then they are considered as a tax resident. But if let's say less than 183 days, they are not considered as a tax resident. So we must untick this column here. Because actually the tax rate is different for the tax resident and also the non-tax resident here lah. Okay, and then you can key in the employee EPF number here, and also by SOSO number. Okay, and the SOSO type here got separated into first category, second category, and no SOSO. Okay, as mentioned earlier, if the employee is age 18 below or 60 and above, they are excluded from EIS contribution. Okay, so you can key in their tax branch and tax number here. Okay, followed by the marital status here. This one also important as it will also affect the tax calculation, your PCB. Okay, you can see here if the marital status is single, the tax category will be C1. Okay, let's try. We change it into married and then we save. Okay, you can see actually the tax category is changed to C2 point K. And then let's say we change to divorce, the tax category will still change. So different marital status will cause the tax category change. Okay, so let's say you got ES serial number, tabung haji no, you can key in as this part. Okay, and then you can see the join date. If the employee is joined on 200, sorry, maybe. Okay, maybe this employee join is 2010, January 1st, and then the confirmed date is March 1st, 2010. Okay, what is the difference of join date and confirmed date? Okay, this case is something like maybe Michelle joined company when 2010, but maybe she got confirmation date. So after confirm, we will key in the date here. Okay, and then system will auto calculate the service year here. So you can see Michelle actually is service for 15 years, 7 months. So this will be better for you to know how you want to give the bonus to the employee lah. So you can based on here. Okay, so if the employee is resigned, you can key in their resign date here also. Okay, let's move on to the allowance part. This allowance part actually is the fixed allowance to the employee, which maybe this employee entitled to petrol every month, and then we can include the transaction here. Okay, let's say the default code is handphone, meal, petrol, but if you want to create another allowance, you can just create the new here. Allowance new, either you can go to payroll, maintenance, maintain allowance here. So you can create another allowance code and names now. Okay, but for this case, let's say is Michelle is entitled to petrol. Okay, the rate will be amount per month. So let's say Michelle is entitled to 200 per month. We just key in the amount here. Okay, and then this will be the allowance contribution. So we can see the allowance, the petrol is contribute to EPF, SOSO, PCB, and so on. Okay, for your information, you can see the PCB and PCBA here. Okay, this PCB only used for the fixed allowance, which every month will get. The PCBA will be the not fixed allowance lah, means maybe they only get the allowance few times a year, not fixed lah. So we will choose the PCBA here. Okay, the tax code here also important because it will contribute to the tax relief. Okay, so you can see here petrol, the max value is 6,000. So actually the 6,000 is the maximum value of the exemption. So we can choose the petrol here. Okay, if got another allowance, we can add in here. Okay, and then for deduction, if got deduction, we can. Okay, let's say we go into the default deduction here. Okay, the deduction type actually you can see got zakat, tabung haji, PT-PTN here. So let's say the employee got deduction, we can create a deduction with the deduction type, and then key in the tick the contribution here, and then assign to the employee deduction here. Okay, the claim limit, we can go to maintenance also. We go for maintain claim. Okay, from here you can set the yearly limit and monthly limit for the claims. Okay, for example, you want to allow your employee maximum claim is 1,000 per year. So we just key in the 1,000 here for the yearly limit. Okay, for let's say you just allow them apply for claims 100 per month. So we will key in the monthly limit here, or set as unlimited if no limit lah. Okay, so at here we can choose the claim types here. Okay, let's go into tax benefit. Okay, if they got any tax benefit, something like benefit in kind, we can, or voila, we can just choose the type here. Okay, following by the notes, you can attach the employee picture if you want, and you can do the remark for the employee here lah. Okay, for the more part, actually you can classify your employee is under which category. For example, this Michelle is permanent, then we just choose permanent. Okay, here we got another option, something like contract, part-times lah, and then the retirement date, and then you can set the contract expiry date also for the contract staff. Okay, for this history, later I will show you how this history works. Okay, we will move on to the child part. Okay, so let's say Michelle got child, we can just add a child here, because actually the child also will affect the tax payable lah. Okay, so in this part you can either leave as child 1 or the name. And then this, you need to select the date of birth of the child, as this one will be, as the death code will be different for all the
Different age
different
group.
age, yes. Okay, let's say the child is 18 years above lah. Less than. Okay, so let's say the child is 18 years old. Okay, the eligible rate here and number of children here. Okay.
For your information, right? If you have one child, you have a tax relief of 2,000 per year. So the settings over here is to determine how many child you have and then how much tax relief you are entitled. So date of birth is important because below 18 and over 18, the deduction will be different. So the first thing we have to do is we set the date of birth. So in this case, right, the child is born in 2017, which makes them 8 years old this year. So if I select the correct code, right, child under the age of 18 years old, you can see the number of child will be shown as 1. But if let's say I have selected the wrong tax category, let's say I'm taking TC 2000, it's for child above 18 years old. So I click on it, right, you can see the number of child will be 0 because they did not fulfill the requirement. So this one is automated by the systems. And then we have the eligible rate over here. We have 3%. So this one is usually when you are a married couple, right? Maybe the child relief is all is under your name. So I will be taking 100%. But if let's say I'll be taking 50%, my partner will be taking 50% of the relief, meaning what each person taking 1,000, then I will take 5,000. Or if my partner taking all the relief, total 2,000, I will set it as 0. So if 0 you want to key in or not over here, it's up to you because there's no special function if it's 0%. Okay, so if the child hits 18 years old, right, then the system will show you the number of child will be updated to the correct number of children to be deducted for tax relief. So you just have to make sure if it's over 18 years old, then you have to come over here to choose the correct category. Because if the child is going for certificate or diploma, right, the rate, and if the child is going for degree, both the rate will be different. So that's why you have to manual, because the system doesn't know whether this child is going to college or going to university, right? So just manual change for this one. You just inform your HR staff to update, then that's it.
Okay, so we will go to Giro part. If they got the Maybank RC Universal Payment, you can key in the beneficiary code here. Okay, for the attachment, if you got another extra attachment, you can attach here. So let's try with save. Okay, you can see the history here. The allowance we just created just now, right? Okay, and followed by the deduction. Okay, so if we go back to the history part, you can see the history. So any changes, you can keep track on this history. Okay, let's try previewing one report. Okay, let's try. For example, the employee is 5,000 per month, the salary. We try increase the salary to 6,000 per month. Okay. Okay, the history type here, actually we can assign it as an increment. So after we assign it as an increment, we can go to the report here. We look for HR.employee increment report. So, okay, this one is useful for you when you increase your employee salary. So this one you can send to your employee here. Okay, let me zoom a bit. Okay, something like this. Increment of salary, so you can send to your employee instead of you need to manually prepare, yes. Okay.
Okay, so actually in under maintain employee, right, we have many of the HR report that you required. So you just have to preview, click on the preview button, it's up here. So we have the acceptance letter, we have the confirmation letter, we have the listing, all these forms that you will need, including the TP1, TP2, TP3. So you just come over here and preview. But if let's say, right, okay, let's say we're taking the employment application report. So this is how it looks like in our system. But if let's say in your company you have your own format, you have your own requirements, right, you can ask your servicing agent to do the amendment for you. We can just edit the report based on your requirements. So this is how it looks like for the application report. Or I can just show you another one. Let's say confirmation evaluation report, whether you decide if this employee will pass the probation or not. So this is how it looks like. It's for you to put the grades and all those things. So same thing, if you have your own formatting that you prefer, then you can just talk to your servicing agent. They will design it for you. So all this report is flexible for changes. Okay, so that's it for the maintenance part. So the first part is we teach you how to do the setting, how to set up the company codes and all these things. And then the next part we will go for is how to process the salary. So, okay, another thing, right, just now I mentioned the contribution is auto by the system. So I show you a few examples. Wages I already show you. So if let's say we have allowance. So I can just click on maintain allowance here. I can click on new. You can see whichever is ticked by default is a mandatory contribution by law. So allowance is all these things. Okay, I close it. Okay, we go for overtime. Okay, overtime, I just click on any of it, then you can see overtime is not entitled to EPF and HRDF. I can click on the new also lah. Click on the new. Overtime is not entitled to EPF and HRDF, so by default, this one is unticked for you. So not to worry if your contribution correct or not, because the system is already do it for you. Okay, so the next part is how to process the salary in the system. Okay, so the main function is actually at the main screen here. So we have go over maintain employee, right? So we have the new payroll, but before going processing the salary, okay, we have one part is called a pending payroll over here. Okay, because if let's say you have a few employees, then there is no issue. Your payroll process will be very simple and straightforward. But if you are a big companies, you have many employees, right? Just the HR process, just the salary key-in part will be very tedious, very time-consuming. So we have the pending payroll over here is for you to pre-key in all those figures here before you process the salary. So if let's say today I have 3 staff entitled for OT, I can key in just 3%. Then tomorrow I have 5%, I can just add on the 5%. Instead of I wait at the end of the month, I one shot key in all, then it will be very time consuming, right? Okay, so for example, for overtime, so on this screen, we just look for overtime. So it's at the bottom here. So I can just double click overtime and then click on the plus signs over here. Okay, so we have 2 dates over here. One is the transaction date, one is a post date. Transaction date meaning when does this transaction happens. So if let's say the OT is today, then the transaction date will be today. So, and then post date is when do you want to release the payment? When does this salary have to be processed? So you can remain the same, or you can put it at the end of the month also can, up to you. Okay, and then here you can just select your employee. So let's say I'm taking Lee Chong Wei over here. Okay, and then I select the code. Okay, by default, right, system have already maintained you with a few codes. So the code beginning with D, meaning it's a daily rate, and then code beginning with H, meaning it's an hourly rate. So if I click on daily rate, and then 1.10 meaning it's a 1.0 rate, 20 meaning 2.0 rate, meaning 2 times the rate. So I'm working on a public holiday, so I take DR20, and then work unit, I just have to put in how many days. So let's say this month has 2 public holidays that I'm working on, so I just put on 2. Then that's it. You don't have to calculate the rate, you don't have to calculate the amount. Okay, so we add on another one. Let's say this person, then they have the overtime. Let's say today this person, they work overtime for 3 hours. So since it's an hourly rate, so over here I just click on 3. Then that's it. The system will auto calculate for you when you process the salary. So we can just put in a few. Okay, once you're done, you just have to click on the save button here. It's the 3rd icon. Okay, and then you can just close it. So when I reopen the pending payroll, right, you can see there's already we have 3 transactions under the overtime category. Okay, so if like I mentioned, you can just put it anytime. So if I want to add anything, I just click on overtime, and then I click on the plus sign to add over here. Okay, so and then the same thing, if let's say I have any commission that I have to pay, so I can just double click on commission, click on the plus sign, and then select the employee, and then how much is the commission? Let's say 500, I just put over here. Okay, and then if let's say today the employee is looking for an advance payment, so we have it in the system also, it's under the advance paid. So I can just click on advance paid, and then click on the plus sign, and then I can just put in the employee name. So let's say Nicole, she's taking an advance of 600 ringgit. So I can just type 600, and then I save. Okay, and then close. So, but you have to take note, right? you can see just now I have keyed in under advance paid only. But if you look over here, we have the system will auto create a deduction for you. Because the logic is if you have get an advance paid, then you have to pay back the money, right? You borrow the money, you have to return back. So the system will auto create for you just in case you forget to deduct their salary for the advance. So I can click on the advance deduct over here, right? Because maybe the staff said this month in the month of August I borrow 600, but you can only deduct during my October salary. So transaction date I can remain as August, but the post date I can change it to October. So meaning when I process the salary for August, right, it won't have this advance deduct. Only when I process the October month end, then it will appear this 600. Okay, and then this one is for 1-to-1, right? But if let's say you have your boss is saying we'll be releasing the bonus payment for this month. Okay, so I can just click on bonus over here. Okay, but if you have a few employees, then it's easy, right? If I have a lot, actually clicking plus and then selecting one by one is quite tedious also. So we have a shortcut for you. So I can open up the human resource, maintain employee. Okay, I make it smaller, right? Then on my keyboard, I just click on Ctrl A to select all the employees. And then I can just drag and then drop under the bonus. Okay, so you can see all the employees is already shown over here. And then if you, let's say you don't remember the code, you have to know the employee name, right? We have the asterisk sign over here. Click on it, and then we can look for employee name. Employee name is over here. I just click on the column, then you can see the name is appear over here. Okay, and then the amount is the bonus that I'm paying out. So the setting in maintain human resource just now, right, in the maintain employee, I click on it, and then payroll info. You can see the category that we have skipped. The setting we have skipped just now is the bonus wages. So this one is to determine whether the bonus rate will depend on your salary only or depending on your wages plus your fixed allowance. So this one is depending on the company policy. Okay, so in this case actually is using the employee salary only. So if let's say the boss said I'll be giving 2 months bonus, so I can just click on 2, the system will put in 6,000. So you have to refer back to maintain employee. And then another shortcut that we have is the batch update value. So if let's say the boss said everyone is entitled to 2 months of bonus. So instead of you clicking one by one, right, same thing, I can just click on Ctrl A to highlight all the columns, and then I can click on right click and then select the first one, batch edit value. And then here I can just put in 2. And then the column that I'm updating is, you can refer over here, or if you want any column you can just change. So it's flexible. So I just put in 2 and then execute. Then you can see right now all is under 1, the rate is under 1 only. So I click on execute, click on OK. Then you can see it's already auto update to 2 for you. So you can, instead of one by one, we can one shot, one lump sum to edit all the information. Same as the description. If I don't want to key in one by one, right, I can just Ctrl A, select all, and then right click, batch edit value. And then here I can put in a bonus of year 2024. Then I click on execute. So when I close it, then you can see the description is already auto fill up for you already. So once done, right, I can just click on save. Then that's it. Okay, so the last thing that we'll be showing you is actually for the CP38. Okay, if you're not sure what is CP38, right, it's actually like a love letter from LHDN. So if the employee, they have paid less tax in the previous year, LHDN, they will send a letter to the company to inform you this staff, they have paid less tax for previous year, then you have to deduct the tax from their salary. So in the letter, right, it will mention a schedule for you, which month deduct by how much. So it can last for a few months or maybe up to a few years also can, depending on how much they owe. So we have the generate buttons over here. So click on the generate. Then same thing, I can select the employees, which one is getting the letters. And then this one is amount, how much to deduct. So this one is based on the letter also. So let's say it's 100 per month. So you can see it's pre-filled for all this month. But if let's say LHDN only mentioned I have to deduct from July to July to December only. So this one, whichever I don't need, I can just untick. So I remain July to December. Click on generate. Click OK. So you can see the system have pre-filled up for you also. So you can see the post date is for each month. So meaning July salary, I will have 100. August salary, 100. September salary, 100 also. So once done, click on the save icon. Okay, so if I open the open pending payroll again, so you can see all this is a transaction that I have pre-keyed in just now before I process anything. Okay, so once you have finalized everything, right, then we can go to process the salary. Okay, so for the process of salary, actually it's just over here under the new payroll button, or you can go under payroll, new payroll. So both is the same thing. So I can click on new payroll, then select the month of the salary. Maybe you can go to ad hoc first. Okay, we have three payments method, three salary process over here. So the first one is ad hoc. Okay, ad hoc meaning, right, if you have any salary, any money that is paid out, that is not at the end of the month. So for example, the boss said we have to pay out the bonus or the commission on today's, but the salary I will pay out during the 31st of August. So I will do the ad hoc first to release the bonus and commissions. But if let's say the bonus is released together with the salary, then I can directly do the final process. Final meaning is the end of is a final process already. After the process, there will be no additional salary to be processed. Okay, so we can go to ad hoc first. So ad hoc, then I can just select the process date that I'm going for. So this one usually we will not select the end of the month. So because the end of the month will be allocated for the final salary. So this one is just putting whichever date that I do the payment. So let's say today is 8th of August, I'll be doing the bonus. So I just select 8. And then here is a contribution that you are flexible to choose. If the payment of bonus, right, I need to deduct the EPF with the together with the bonus, right, so I'll select the balancing. If I decided not to deduct first, meaning I'll pay the bonus only, but the EPF I will deduct at the end of the month with the salary, then you can choose do not calculate. But we strongly recommend you to choose a balancing, just in case that if your bonus is too much, right, in the final process, it will be too many PCB or too many EPF to be deducted, meaning causing the final salary will be a lot lesser. Okay, and then same thing, if you want to contribute SOCSO, PCB, EIS during the ad hoc process, I can just tick whichever you want. And then process we have split into two over here. So one is the to input your amount, meaning I click on the process, only I key in the amount. Or the second option is in the pending payroll. We just look at the last sentence over here, pending payroll, which is what I did just now. So I have already pre-keyed in the type of income that I need to release. So I'll choose the second process. Okay, and then the contribution, we have the UTD contributions over here. So by default it's 100%, but we usually suggest you to put in 0%. So the meaning for this setting, right, if when I do the bonus and then when I release the bonus, for the PCB calculation, if I maintain as 100%, right, the system will take in the bonus plus my salary and then my fixed allowance to calculate the PCB. So this will cause your PCB to be higher during the ad hoc process. if I decided that I just want to calculate PCB just for my bonus portion, I can just put in 0 over here. Okay, and then at the bottom here, I just click on whichever transaction that I'll be released. So I'll be released bonus. I can just click on bonus, click on OK. Okay, then by default, the system will tick all the employees over here. So, but not to worry, because if I have selected the pending payroll setting, right, the system will only calculate for whoever that have keyed in the pending payroll. So for example, in the list we have 6 person over here. I don't do anything, I can just click on process. One more thing is the description over here. So you can name it with whatever you want. So I just put it as bonus. Okay, and then we have 6 person over here, right? I can just click on process. Then it will have 6 person appear here, meaning 6 person I have clicked on, have keyed in the bonus for the pending payroll. So we can just click on one of it. So you can see we have the bonus and then the EPF, it will be auto calculate. So why is there no PCB? It's because we have not processed the previous month's salary. So by calculation, the employee have not hit the threshold to contribute to PCB. So that's why it will not appear. So you can see everyone, they have their own bonus and then the EPF and EPF. Okay, so we have released the bonus, and then just now we did one more is for the advance payment, right? So same thing, I can come back to here, and then this time I change it to advance paid. Click OK. So if you look at here, right, 6 person, but the advance pay ID just now should be for 1 person only. So it doesn't matter if I click all of them. I can just click on process. Then you can see only 1 person appear. So this person will be appearing with the advance pay 600 only. So there is no limit to how many ad hoc that you can process for each month. But for the final, there's only 1 final. Okay, so when I have released all the payment, right, then it's time to release the salary. So let me just close everything. I can come back to new payroll. Okay, and then I can click on final. Final meaning is the last January, last payment I'll be making. So if your company, right, if your cutoff date is not at the end of the month, you can see the 3 dots over here. Click on it, then you can change your cutoff date. So if let's say I change it to 25, the system will auto change the process date for you. So we just remain as 31. And then here I can just put it as salary. Okay, and then just click on process. Okay, so the system actually will remind you, we have not processed any salary for the month of July. Are you sure you want to do the August salary or not? So we just click on yes in our case. Okay, then I will open up. Then click on any one of it. Then you can see all the things that have been keyed, right? The wages, the fixed allowance, overtime, it will auto calculate for you. But if let's say, right, I suddenly forget I have one more commission that I have not released, I forget to key in for Lee Chong Wei. So we can still do it in the final process. So I just click on the commission, click on the plus, and then just put in the amount. So if you take note, right, whatever amendment that you did, right, it will affect the EPF calculation, so EIS and PCB. The system will directly recalculate on the spot for you. So I'll put in a 10,000 commission. Click on enter. Then you can see the EPF so has been changed. So they have not hit the PCB, right? Even if 10,000 commission, I put it as 50,000. Then you can see the PCB, it will automatically appears over here. So once you have finalized this, you can just click on save. Then that's it. Okay, and then if you are not sure, if you are new to HR, you are not sure how does the system get this PCB of 2,900, we can click on the print PCB. So the system will put in all the figures for you into the calculator. And then all I have to do is just scroll to the bottom, to the end of the page. And then click on Kira. So you can see the PCB, the amount is calculated as 2,900. But if you want to know the breakdown, where does the income come from, right? You can refer to the table here. So for your information, the calculator in our SQL, right, is the same as the calculator used by LHDN website. So meaning whatever amount that we are keying in here for calculation, you put in the same amount into LHDN calculator, you will get the same result. So you can click on here to see the breakdown of all the incomes that you have. And then here is for this month, and then you can go through the calculation yourself. Okay, so the final amount that we get is 2,900. Okay, so everything is correct. I can just click on close. Okay, so that's how you process the salary. But if let's say, right, okay, we come back to the screen here, right, we have missed out the frequency just now. Actually, the function of the frequency, right, if in some certain companies, right, maybe those foreign companies, they have their salaries, the salary payment is not like ours. In Malaysia, our salary is paid during the end of the month, or maybe the last week of the month, they will cut off, right? But in certain country, right, their practice is the salary is paid out by every week or every 2 weeks. So you can use the frequency settings over here, and then you can just select the half month payroll, and then just click on whichever period that you want to process. So we don't have any employees over here because we have not do any settings. But if you want, you can go over to human resource and then click on anyone. You can change the setting here, the frequency to the half month payroll. So system know this person, their salary is paid out 2 times per month instead of one final payment. Okay, so if we come back to the month payroll, right, if I look over to the final here, you can see the list actually is empty already, meaning all the employees has already been processed a salary for the month of August. So if I go over to next month, then you can see all the employees will appear. So the system is smart enough to detect which staff has been processed the salary, which one is not processed. Okay, and then once you're processed, then I have to check the records, right? I need the reporting. I have to show to my manager, show to my boss, which staff getting which amount, right? So we can come over to open payroll. Okay, open up, then you can see for the month of August, we have 3 different process. So one is the bonus, one should be the advance salary. We forget to change the name, and then one is the month-end salary, the final salary. Okay, so if you get on the main screen, right, we have the reporting that you will need. So we will go through one by one. So first thing is the print payslip. So definitely, right, after you process the salary, you have to send the payslip to the employee. So it's a shortcut that you can click, print payslip. Or if you decided not to use the shortcut, you can actually come over to payroll, print payslip also is the same thing. Okay, and then we can see all the employees that we have and then everything that we have processed. I can click on the preview. Then we have over 10 designs over here. So you can go for the first one. So the first one usually is the more details design. So you have the leave entitlement, you have the overtime, the allowance breakdown, all those things. So each employee, they will have their own payslip over here. So it's a very detailed, very full design. Or if your company prefers something simpler, so we can use this one, the 2A reports. Okay, 2A, it will be more simpler, no breakdown, just a final salary. Okay, and then if let's say you want to send this email to your employee, right, actually we have this batch email payslip feature. So you can click on the green icon here, the black arrow, beside that there's a black arrow. Then you can click on the email client batch or email client SMTP batch. So the difference is email client meaning the email program is on your computer, meaning you log in through the Outlook program, something like this one, the blue color icons here. Or if you are using the browser option, let's say the Gmail or any Yahoo Mail or any company email, right, it's log in through online, that you won't have any program installed in your PC, right? So you can use the SMTP batch. So that's why in the beginning we have mentioned in the File, Company Profile, we have the email setting tabs over here. So if you have set it, then you can use the email SMTP. If you have not set it, then you cannot use it. So just fill up, you just have to fill up your email and then your password. Okay, so I can just close. So the next report we have is the payroll summary. Okay, payroll summary is just a summary report to show what kind of the breakdown of all the employees, what kind of payment is released. So you can payroll summary with a full view. If you just want to look at the wages or just want to look at the overtime, I can change it to overtime summary. Click on apply. Then it will print out whichever employee having the overtime. So I change back to payroll summary. And then we have the filtering over here. So that's why in the maintain employee, right, we have the grouping tag over there that you can predefine whether this employee is under which department or which branch or which type of category. So if let's say today I want to view the employee from a Penang branch, so I can just click on Penang, click on apply, then it will appear whichever employee under the Penang branch. If I not filter anything, then it will appear everyone. Then if you take a look at the 3 dots at the back here, right, is for you to view multiple process. So in the month of August, actually I did 3 process, right? So I can just click on 3 to view a combined view, to get a combined view. Click OK and then apply. So all the bonus, commission, salary, it will combine under one table here. And then if I click on preview, we have a few reports that you can, few design report that you can use depending on your preferences. So we have the report like this, and then you can actually choose to export it to a PDF file or export to Excel file, these two. So if you convert it to Excel file, then you can do any adjustment, any formulas, any cross-check that you want. Okay, so this one will be a view of all the employees. But if let's say there's a PNC that you don't want to let someone else to, you want to give the report to somebody else or to the admin department, but you don't want to let them know which staff getting which salary, right? Then we have the grouping options over here. So let's say I'll be doing the grouping by branch. Click on apply. Then you can see it will show you 2 rows only. One is the default branch, one is the Penang branch. So for the default branch, the total salary is 16,000. And then for the Penang branch, the total salary is 6,000 over here. Okay, then you can send over to the account department to do the accounting entry. Okay, and then the next one that we have is the payment summary. So I can click on payment summary. So just now we have set the payment method, right? Which is you can either use cash, check, or direct transfer. So if your company is using the cash method, we have the coinage report over here. So you can click on coinage report, and then it's just a summary that system show you what kind of notes that you have to prepare. So let's say we take the smaller amount, 1,700, right? So for this salary payment, you have to prepare 17 pieces of 100 ringgit notes, 1 piece of 50 ringgit notes, and then 1 piece of 10 ringgit notes, and so on, so on. Okay, this one is for the cash payment. If let's say you are using the direct transfer payment, then we have the credit bank reports over here. So I can click on this one, and then we will open up here. Okay, and then if you take a look, right, at the bottom we have the save to file. I'm not sure if you can see or not. Okay, we have the save to file buttons over here. So any documents that you preview in the system, right, if you have the save to file buttons, meaning it support the file upload functions. So I can click on here, and then since we have set the Maybank as our company bank account, right, then it will appear. So Maybank itself, they have a few bank format. So if you are not sure, you can ask your bank, for my account, which type of payment method, which type of format that I have to use, and then just fill up all this information. Okay, so file upload features, meaning, right, if let's say I have 100 employees today, I don't have to log into my bank and then key in one by one their name, their bank account, their salary, all these things. File upload meaning from SQL Payroll, you can get the file either in text format or Excel format, and then you can directly upload to your bank. So if you have 100 staff, upload to the bank, then it will pre-key in those 100% salary for you. Then maybe you just have to click on the approve button to proceed with the payment. So it will be a very convenient features that we have. So almost all the local banks in Malaysia that is already is supported, so not to worry. Okay, so this one is for the salary payment. Okay, then the next one is the more important one, which is the statutory payment. One salary we have to pay to 5 different departments, right? We have to go to the first one, we have the EPF. So I just click on the EPF, same thing, I just open up, and then at the bottom here, we have the save to file buttons also. So I click on save to file, and then we have a few formats that you can choose. So if let's say you prefer to upload your file to KWSP website, meaning the EPF website, then I can choose the KWSP. So I click on OK, then I just click on where I want to save my files. Let's say download, and then save. Then you will see total record 6, and then file saved successfully. Okay, so we can try to open up and see. It looks like this. Something like this. So actually it's not important for us to know how to read this report. As long as when I upload to KWSP website, the website itself, they know how to read, they're able to retrieve the information that we need already. So you just get the file and then upload directly. Don't do any adjustment to the file here. Okay, and then if let's say I'm not uploading to KWSP website, I'll upload directly to my bank. So you can just choose whichever bank that you're using, and then click on OK, and then same step. I just fill out anything that is required and then just save the file. And then if let's say you need some supporting documents, you have to have the reporting or the listing, right? So you can click on the preview buttons. Okay, for information, all the listing that we have in the report, right, we have their own report format. So you can just directly print from the system. EPM, we have the Borang A, right? So I click on Borang A, you can see it's exactly the same format as provided by KWSP, just that we have filled up everything for you. You can see everything is filled up already, and then you can just click on print, or you can just export to PDF or Excel, up to you. Okay, so everything is filled up already here. Okay, I can close this one. Okay, and then we have the SOCSO and EIS form, but now they have combined the SOCSO and EIS contribution, so it's a 2-in-1 submission. So previously you have to do one submission for SOCSO, one submission to EIS, but now they have already introduced SOCSO plus EIS contribution. So same thing, click on print SOCSO, and then we have the save to file icons, the buttons over here. Click on here, and then just select where I want to save the file to, and then click on save. Okay, if you're done, then you can just take the file and upload. It's the same for EPF also, PCB also. Come over here, save to file, and then choose where I want to upload my file to. Click OK, and then just click on save. So you can see file saved successfully, meaning the file is ready. You can use it for upload to the bank. To LHDN website. And then for reporting, same thing. Click on the preview, and then they have their the government formats that you need. Just a brief view. Everything is already pre-filled up, including the name, the IC, the amount for PCB payments. So it's the format exactly from the government statutory body. And then the last one we have is the HRDF. So same thing. You can just preview whichever employee they have. Salary, the system will calculate the total HRDF payable. So in this case, it's 245 ringgit and 60 cents. So how they get this is the total remuneration, 24,000 times 1% is the 245. But if you take a look, right, in the print HRDF, there isn't any print save to file options over here. It's not because SQL Payroll doesn't have it. It's because HRDF itself, they doesn't have this feature. They doesn't have the file upload feature. So no choice, you just have to manually submit for this one. We still have the listing for you to refer. So 3 formats that you can choose from. So it's just the name, the remuneration, and then HRDF, and then the total payable. You just fill up this amount into the HRDF website manually. Okay, so just now all those reporting that we go through, right, is for, we call it as a monthly report, which is a report that you'll be using it monthly every month that you. So APF, SOCSO, EIS, all this have to be done monthly. It's under the monthly category. And then the next one we have is the yearly report, meaning it's only to be used once per year. So we have the EA form, and then we have the CP8D also. If I click on the EA form here, I select my year, click on apply. All the employees that I have processed will appear. I can just click on preview. Because actually SQL Payroll is always updated with following the latest government rules and regulations. So anytime there's new release, new announcement, new format, right, then we will upgrade in the system for you. Let's say we have the 2024 format, 2025 format also, either in English or BM. I just click on any one. So you can see same thing, everything is already pre-filled out for you. So the gross salary, actually all you have to do is you can just click on print and then just print out to your employees. So every employee will have their own EA form. And then if let's say, right, you are not sure how does the system get the amount. Let's say this one is Lee Chong Wei. It shows the gross salary is 3,500. But you're not sure how the system get it, right? We can come back to the main screen here. I can double click on any columns. It will open up a window. So I click on Lee Chong Wei, and then the wages column, the gross salary column is under 1A, 3,500. So at the bottom, the system will show you the breakdown, how the system get it. 3,500 is from overtime in August, 543, and then 3,000 wages in August also. So total is 3,543. Same thing, B1, 1B. This is how the system get it. So on. You can try to click around to see the result for this one. Okay, and then if let's say, right, maybe there's some certain information that is not able to fill up in the EA form. You can also manually customize the EA form. Take a look at the right hand side corner, is a customized EA form. Okay, then I just select employees. Okay, I click on customize. So it will have the forms over here. So usually our user, right, they will use it to fill up manfaat, this one, B13, manfaat berupa barangan, meaning this one is benefit in kind. The system are not able to capture, maybe the benefit you're given is a car. You provide the driver or they give you a car to drive, right? So you can put in the car information over here, let's say Mercedes, something like that. So I just click on save, I close it. If I try to apply again, right, you can see there's one employee is highlighted in yellow, meaning we have did some amendment to their EA form. If I preview again, and then we look for Lee Chong Wei, right, this one, then you can see the benefit in kind is already filled up with the remark that I put in just now. And then I can just close it. And then the next one we have under the yearly is the CP8D, meaning the company tax form that you have to submit every year or so. So same thing, I select the year, click on apply, and then if I need the reporting, I can just click on preview, and then we have a few formats that we have. So usually we will take the latest one. So you can see all those informations. You can see all the information that we have, right? It's already pre-filled out for you. It's actually quite straightforward for our system. We have already automated many things for you. You just have to remember to fill up key in all the salary only. Same thing, you can just print out, and then if you take note, right, the CP form, CP8D form, we have the save to file button also, meaning the form you can actually directly upload to LHDN website. So there's no need to manually key in. Okay, so when you try, right, just take note that at the right hand side corner of the reports, if they have save to file, meaning you are lucky because you have the file upload function that you can use. You don't have to do it manually. Okay. Other than that, right, we also have the ad hoc report. Ad hoc report meaning it's only used when required, but it's not definitely you will use it in the whole year. So if let's say the SOCSO, Borang 2, Borang 3, or even CP22A, when you have a new joiner or you have someone who have resigned, right, we have the forms over here also that supports the file upload functions. And then if let's say you are really unlucky, you got the audit from LHDN, they will send you a letter to list out the requirements that you have. So actually we have already considered for this scenario. So we have the two tool template that they required. Follow the instructions and then come over to SQL Payroll to get the file that they are required. Okay, so you have to dig out all this information. The last we have is the yearly reports. Just two yearly payroll reports. This one actually is just to show you, let's say we have chosen the yearly wages, just to show you for this employee the salary for each month that they have, or you just want anything yearly employee EPF or yearly net pay. So you can just click on apply, then it will show up the information one by one. This one is for a certain type of income. Okay, but if let's say you want the overall income that they have, right, and in the monthly view, then you can use this one, payroll individual report. So same thing, I can click on apply and then I can click on preview. So we have the information over here. So we can see this one is Lee Chong Wei. The wages for August is this much. The commission is 50,000, and okay, this one is for individual employee. Each employee will have one template over here. Or if let's say you want a combined view, then we can use the merge report. So click on apply, preview again. So you can see it will be a summary of all the employees. So it's maybe for your boss to see or your admin department to see the total payout in that particular year. Actually, that's it for the payroll process part. So we have go through the settings and then we have go through how to process the salary with all the required reports and then the steps to use it. Okay, welcome back everyone. So we will continue with the leave parts over here. So before we go back into the system, right, I'll just brief you on what is the standard for the leave entitlement for each year. So based on the rules, right, for annual leave, actually for the first to second year, it's 8 days, 3 to 4 years is 12 days, and then 5 years and above is 16 days. So this one is a minimum requirement. But if let's say your company, they have a better benefits, maybe the first year you are entitled to 10 days, then it's up to you to decide. As long as it's not less than 8 days, then it should be sufficient. And then the next one we have is the medical leave. Same thing, first year to second year, you are entitled to 14 days. 3 to 4 years is 18 days. And then 5 years and above is 22 days. Okay, and then the maternity and paternity leave. So this one actually is quite new. So for maternity leave, previously it was 90 days. And then it has been increased to 98 days. And then they have introduced a new leave, which is a paternity leave for the fathers. So previously there's no entitlement for paternity, but after 1st of January 2023, you are entitled to 7 days of paternity leave also. Okay, so we will shift back to the system. Okay, so we go back to the system, right? We have go through the human resource and the payroll tab. So the next one is for the leave tabs over here. You can come over to leave and then maintain leave type. In our system, right, actually we have preset all the things that is required by law. So if you have any additional, you can come over here to add. We have a new leave. We just click on the new and then code, you can put in anything you want. Let's say we have a compassionate leave. So I can just put in compassionate. Okay, the caption is just a short form for it. And then you have 3 buttons over here. If let's say it's entitled, meaning the system, they can calculate for you. First year you get how many days, second year how many days, and then so on. For compassionate leave, let's say you're entitled to 2 days per year. So I can just click on is entitled. And then the second button is unpaid, meaning if you have taken this leave, the company will deduct your salary. So if you click this one, you have applied for compassionate, then the system will deduct your salary for it. And then the last one is brought forward. Brought forward usually is applied for annual leave, meaning if you have any balance leave from the previous year, the system will help you bring forward to the next year, so you can have additional leave. So once you have done, I can just click on save. Okay, and then let's say for annual leave, we can bring forward the leave, right? So I can come over here and edit, and then click on the bring forward. Then click on save, then that's it. Okay, once you have set all the leave that you have in your system, then we can go over to leave and then maintain leave group. Okay, maintain leave group, you can set a grouping of the leave that you are entitled. So we have a default one. So I can just click on edit, and then we can click on the plus sign to add in the new leave that we have created. So compassionate, and then we can come over under the entitled column. I can click on the 3 dots. and then the setting is over here. So if let's say every year I'll be entitled to 2 days. I can set the first column is year from is 1, and then if there's unlimited, right, we can just put as 99 years and then put 2 days. So the system will know every year you will get 2 days for this one. Click OK. Okay, then if you refer to the annual leave, right, I click on the 3 dots here. So you can see following the law, the first to second year I'll get 8 days, 3 to 4th years 12 days, and then 5th year onwards is 16 days. So if you, let's say you have further breakdown, right, I can put it 5th to 6th year 16 days, and then 7 to 10 years will be 20 days, 11 year onwards I'll put as 99, I'll get 25 days. So I can just key in this way, click on OK, then that's it. So actually the calculation, right, is based on your join date. So that's why in the maintain employee, right, we tell you it's very important for you to key in the join date over here. So system will know when you join the company, then from there they will calculate the leave entitlement for you. Okay, and then for if there's unpaid leave, right, or is any leave type that is deducting your salary, I can just come over to the amount column, and then same thing, click on the 3 dots here, and then I can define the calculation. If let's say my calculation is based on default wages, and then I'll select divided by days in a month. So let's say right now it's August, right? If I take 1 day of unpaid leave, the system will take my salary divided by 31 days to get my daily rate. Okay, if let's say I was selecting the custom days, 26, meaning my salary, it will divide it by 26 days to get the rate for 1 day. And then if let's say I select the third option, meaning days with this start and end date, it will depending on the cutoff date. If let's say your cutoff date is 31st of every month, then the process will be first of the month until 31st. So in that case, it will divide by 31 days. Or if let's say your cutoff date is 25th of every month, so it will calculate the days between 26th of current month to 25th of next month to get the total number of days to do the divisions. Either one is okay, you can choose whichever you prefer. So I'll select custom date and then just click on OK and then save. So inside the leave group here, right, actually I can maintain different type of groups. Usually, let's say we have most of our users will be using is they will create one group for the female staff, one group for the male staff. Because female staff, they will entitled to maternity, and then male staff, they will entitled to paternity only, right? So they will split to 2 groups over here, and then they will assign to the staff accordingly. You can just click on whichever employee is it under grouping, then I select the leave group created here. Okay, so once I create everything, I have maintained all my leave type, right? Then next I will have to let the system to calculate the entitlement. How many days of annual leave I have, how many days of MC I have. So it's under the type leave and then leave entitlement processor. 2025, let's say this one is the first time I'm using the system, right? I click on process and then I will choose override. If you are using the system already, then you should select open. Over here, the system will calculate the leave type you have and then how many days. So if let's say Lee Chong Wei, right, system calculates 16 days, but maybe this year you have special case, you give them additional 2 days, change it to 18 days over here. And then let's say MC, they get additional 3 days. So it's 25, I can put 25. And then I can just click on save. So system will know, for Lee Chong Wei it's 18 days of annual leave, for Yap Kim Ho is 16 days. So I can close this one. So that's why I say, if you click on process, right, process, you have 2 buttons. If I click on open, whatever amendment that I have made just now, right, it will remain over here. It will not change. But if let's say you have clicked on override process, I click on override, you can see everything will be reset to based on system own calculation. So whatever amendment you have do previously, right, it will be reset. So that's why you have to be careful. If you are a new user, you can just click on override, doesn't matter. But if you are existing payroll user, right, you just click on open will do. Once you have set all the entitlement, then we have the leave applications over here. It's under leave applications. Okay, and I click on the year 2025 and then I select the employees. So we have all the leave type that they entitled at the top here. So C is actually for cancelled, and then AL straightforward is the annual leave. So at the bottom here, right, we also can see how many days balance for this employee. So if let's say I'll take it, let's say Lee Chong Wei, they're taking an annual leave, right? So I can just click on AL and then just click on the calendar. So let's say I'll take on 6th of June, I can just click on this day, the system will key in for you. And then one more day on 1st of July, then the system will key in over here. So this one is for one full day of leave. But if let's say some companies they allow the employee to take 1 hour leave or maybe just 45 minutes of leave, right? You can actually do so in the system also. Click on the plus sign and then I'll just select the date. And then if you take a look at the column here, we have the time in minutes here. If let's say today they're taking 50 minutes of annual leave, so I can click on 0, dot and then 50. So the system will calculate as 0.11 days. So you don't have to manually calculate for this one. The system already automate for you. So once you're done, click on save. So this one is for a one day of leave application. But if let's say the staff inform you that they be taking 1 week of leave, then you can do so in the system also. I can click on annual leave. Let's say they're taking from 2nd of June until 6th of June, right? So I can click on 2 and then highlight until 6th of June. Then the system will insert for you also. So if let's say they take 2 weeks, 1 month, you can just highlight instead of one by one to key in. Okay, once you have done, click on save. Actually, and then at the bottom right, you can see the leave balance and then the taken right, it will update exactly at the same time also. So you can check over here if they have over the limit or how. But actually not to worry, right? If you're over the limit, the system will inform you also. So let's say we take the compassionate leave. So I take 2 days already, right? I have 0 balance over here. Let's say I'll take a 3rd days. Then the system will let you know you have taken already more than the entitlement leave. So whether you want to allow proceed or not. If allowed, then the system will save for you. If not allowed, or if you say you can take it but it changes to unpaid leave, you can select whichever you need. So the system will automatically update it to unpaid leave. Okay, then once I'm done, I can just click on save. Okay, so very straightforward for the leave applications. Only a few settings that we need to do. Okay, and then once we have all the leave setting, all the application have been done, right, then we have a few reports that you can view. So first one is the leave application report. Okay, this is just to show you all the leave taken by your employee for this particular date that you have filtered. So same thing, you can preview the report also. So you have a listing to show you which employee taken what type of leave on which date, and then total taken is at the bottom here. And then other than this one, we also have the leave and then the leave attendance reports. Okay, same thing, I just filter a longer date period. Okay, and then when I preview, right, it just to show you the attendance of the employee. Let's say one year is how many days, they attended how many days, to determine your attendance rate over here, the percentage over here. Because actually some companies, right, when they do the bonus calculation, they want to determine how much to pay to their staff, right? They will depend on their attendance also. If 1 person have never taken leave, 1 person have taken more leave, then maybe the bonus they get will be lower compared to the other person, depending on how the companies calculate the bonus allocations. Okay, so this one is an attendance, so just show you a percentage and then what kind of leave they have taken for the whole year. Okay, and then the next one we have is the leave balance report. Same thing, I can just filter the year, click on apply. So when I preview, right, actually we have the reporting that we need, but the more important one is the employee performance report. You can see over here, the third one. That's why I say when some company, they will depending on the attendance rate of the employee to determine the bonus or determine the promotion for them, right? So this one is a full report that you can see. So you can see the salary, the type of leave they've taken, and then the percentage of the leave that have taken. So it's a full view report, and then with some history that you can see over here. Okay, and then if let's say you need to have a leave application form that the employee have to fill out, right, then this one is a formatting, so you can just print out as the supporting documents as a documentation that you keep for yourself. Okay, and then the last one is the yearly leave reports. So it's just a report to show you what kind of leave, the type of leave taken by months. So if I preview over here, so you can see Lee Chong Wei, they have taken 1 day of annual leave in June, 1 day in July, 0.11 day for August, so total is 2.11 days. And then the balance that they have is 13.89 days. So same thing, you can just print from print to PDF, or you can just export to Excel, and then you can do your own Excel formula to calculate, to do any formulas, do any comparison that you prefer. This one is for the software part. So actually we have another module that we have is a mobile application. In the mobile, right, we have three main functions that they have. So the first one is the leave application and the e-claim module. So meaning, right, from the phone itself, the employee can apply the leave, and then you as a manager, right, you can approve the leave, and then we can post into the system for you. So you don't have to go over to the leave application to do it manually. And then claim also is the employee, they have go out to purchase something, or they go and meet a client, or they just pump the petrol and want to claim from the companies, right? They will bring back the receipt, then they can fill up the information on the phone, and then when inside the system, right, the manager can do approval. That's why we have the claim limit setting that we show. Third functions we have, and then the second function that we have is the e-payroll functions. Meaning from the mobile phone itself, right, the employee, they can, they can view their monthly salary, and then with the breakdown also, for this month, how much salary I get, how much commission I get, how much overtime did I do. And then from there also, they can manually print out their own payslip. So you as a HR manager, you are no longer required to email to them or print out and send a physical copy to them. And then we have also the EA form over there. And then the third module that we have is the time attendance module, meaning the employee, right, they can use the mobile phone to clock in and clock out as a attendance tracking system. So all this we will show it to you right now, and then after we show the setting, right, then we will show you how it looks in the mobile phone. So if you have any question also, you can drop in the Q&A box.
So now our technician will switch the slide to our mobile apps. There's some setting we need to do first. Okay, for the first one, maintain employee here. The email here will be very important, as this will be the key to access for this employee to access to the HRMS app. So you must update the email for every employee so they can access to the HRMS app. For the time attendance part, okay, this one actually is just used when your company need to have the ETMS module, which you want to allow your employee to do clock in, clock out function. So I will show you some basic setting. For the first one, we can set for the public holiday calendar first. Okay, so we click in the default calendar here. Okay, actually you can see here, got the P here, got the Earth icon here. Okay, actually this one is our software function which help you to set the public holiday more faster and easier. So let's say your company located in Selangor, we can just click this Selangor. So actually the public holiday here, the system will auto select the Selangor public holiday to you. You can double confirm your company public holiday. For let's say your company got another public holiday, you can just stick it. But for let's say don't have, we just okay, and then you can saw actually the calendar here got the red color label here. Actually is the public holiday we just set lah. Okay, and then we click on save, and then wait for some time. After that, we will go to time attendance here. Okay, and then we will go to maintain calendar here to maintain your employee calendar. Okay, we can choose which employee you want to visit for it. Okay, for example, for this one is this employee calendar. Okay, we can click this wizard icon actually here to set for the employee calendar. Okay, you can see now we will set for the rest day. For example, this employee, the rest day is Saturday and Sunday. Okay, so we just set rest day for Saturday and Sunday only. And this one is every month, every week, it's fixed. Okay, so we just next. And then this one is the work section. The section, we can choose the default work section. Okay, the section actually is can be created another session. For example, got night shift, morning shift, something like that. But now we will using the default one. Schedule, we will go by months. Okay, you can see here month is all selected, weeks is all selected. If the if the employee's calendar is fixed, and then we can directly choose all selected. And the days, we exclude the Sunday and Saturday because this one is their rest day. So we can just exclude it and then we process. So after process, you can check on this, actually the work day is created for this employee lah. So after we create the work session for this employee, then only this employee can using the ETMS to clock in and clock out. So must setting for this first.
Okay, one more thing, right? Actually, the setting is also to help in your leave application because we have set the working day, rest day, and then public holiday for the staff. So if let's say, for example, right, 2nd of June is a public holiday. If you check over here, so if let's say the staff accidentally apply a leave on this day, the system will let you know, oh, today is public holiday, you should not apply the leave on this day. So it's to prevent any miscalculation or prevent any mistake made from the employer when they wrongly deduct their annual leave for it.
Okay, so after we setting all of these, you can check here got the cloud icon here and then got the sync cloud function. Okay, before using the mobile app, we must do sync cloud every time when we got do setting for the employee. So we can just click sync cloud and then we click for sync all. Okay, this you must click this sync all before you use the payroll HRMS app, okay, to sync the later status. Okay, now we will switch on to the, okay, sorry, before that, in the maintain employee part, let's say this employee is the manager, we must tick on this part, manager here, so they can approve their employee leave here. Okay, so you can check on here, after you click manager, actually got an extra tab here named EHRMS. So this one is actually a filtering function which you can setting to allow this employee or this manager can see which department. But let's say if you didn't tick any department, which means this employee or this manager can see for all employees record. Okay, so we just save.
Okay, this one is also to control the approval level. Meaning, let's say this employee, this manager, right? This person is in charge of Penang branch. So I can just tick on Penang. So in the mobile phone that they have, right, they will only see leave application or any lateness of the employee for Penang branch only. They will not see other branch information. So this is to maintain that the correct person manage the correct group of employees.
Okay, so after we made any changes, we must go for sync cloud again to get the latest status. Okay. Here you can upload the payslip to your employee. You just check this, upload payslip, and then followed by which report for the payslip you want to send to your employee. So for example, we choose the payslip 1A report, click OK, and then we sync all again. Now we will go to our mobile apps, which has our HRMS app. Okay, so now this is our HRMS mobile app. Okay, actually you can see got 4 tabs here, got TMS, leave, claim, and payroll. Okay, actually this is the 4 modules we have. For leave is for our employee to apply for the leave here. Because I'm now logged in as the manager role, so actually I can do approval or rejection for the teams. Okay, you can see here leave approval. This one is my another colleague. So I can see the attachment here. Okay, attachment for example is this one. Okay, so whether I can do approval or reject. Okay, let's try we approve it. Okay, we enter a comment, maybe it's okay, approve. Okay, then we click OK. Now you can see this actually is the record of our employee that the application which approved. And then if the leave is rejected, and then will be shown in the rejected column here lah. Okay, let's try with reject leave. Okay, we click OK. Okay, and then the leave application will be go to rejected here. Okay, so as a manager, you got the right to do approval and also the rejection. Let's try. We can just click this apply leave, and then we can choose we want to apply leave whether for full day or half day or specific time lah. For let's say we apply leave whole day for tomorrow. Okay, the end date will be tomorrow also. Okay, the leave type is the leave you want to apply for. For example, I want to take annual leave, so I just choose annual leave. Okay, and then this I am taking leave. Okay, must tick. Okay, and then I can enter the description. Okay, if like you want to upload for the attachment, you can click the upload attachment here. Okay, and then we submit the leave application. Maybe we try another days because this day is our rest day actually. Okay, Okay, we submit again. Okay, after you submit, it will appear the window like this. It's applied and then apply in, and then you can see the balance also. Okay, but because just now in the system payroll system, we didn't allow our application is auto approved, so we for our leave application will be approved by the HR admin lah. Okay, so after you apply for the leave, we'll go to pending here. So after your HR admin approve or rejected, the status will be updated here lah. You can see your leave summary here also, your balance and also your total leave. Okay, you can see your total leave you applied and also your balance here. Okay, as a manager, I can also check for another employee. Okay, for example, I want to see 002 leave balance, I can check also. This one only manager can see lah. I'm not a manager role, I only can see my own one. Okay, now I will try to go to the claim, e-claim. This is the place that you need to apply your claims. Okay, so we can go to submit claim here, and then the expenses type, we can choose default claim. The setting here will be followed by the setting in the system lah. Okay, so if you got another claim, you can choose it here. Okay, followed by the date, the amount, description, and also reference. Okay, let's say we apply for 50 ringgit of claim. Description is maybe eat with customer something. Okay, so we can upload our document, maybe our receipt, and then this receipt will be reviewed by our HR lah. Okay, so after that, we just click for submit. Okay, so you can see we are pending approval from your manager. Okay, so it's pending status lah. So if any updates, the status will be updated here.
Okay, another function we have over here is actually you look at the top right, there's an e-invoice buttons over here. So if let's say today you go out, you get any receipt that having the e-invoice validated QR code, right? You can upload the documents, then the system will auto scan for you. So the system will read the receipt and then it will fill up the date, the amount, the description, everything for you also. So you can just upload and then you click on submit, then it's done for the process. So either it's manually or you can just upload the receipt to do it.
Okay, so for this payroll part, if your HR admin got upload the payslip for you, and then you can download your payroll or check your payroll here. Okay, so now we got the last part, which is TMS, which is our clock in, clock out module. So after you setting for the employee the working session, you can clock in every day and clock out here lah. This location is actually based on the maintain branch setting there. You must set the branch location into your company location lah. So this one you can clock in and clock out here. Okay, so now I will return back to our SQL payroll software. I add on a bit for just now, the maintain branch, the setting you need to do to enable you clock in. So here you can choose your office location here lah. So only employee can clock in and clock out within the range. So we'll be setting by here. After employee do the leave application, now let's see how the application sync into our system. So actually we go to the cloud icon again. We go for sync cloud. On this, sync all. Okay, actually you can see here the record the leave application just now. Okay, you can see the green color one, which means is approved by your manager in mobile apps already. But the HR admin, which HR admin as using the payroll software, they got the finalized right to do for the approval. So either they can approve or reject for the application. Okay, so for pending claim also same. This claim just now I submit, so I can approve or reject it here. Okay, so let's try we approve the claims.
Actually, the approval can be done through the phone or actually through the payroll screen itself. Even the leave is approved on the phone, right? Once before we sync into the system, the HR manager, they can still do unapproved or they can still do the rejection of the leave here. For this action is actually we're pulling the data from our server into the payroll, and then the next step will be we have to post the transaction back into our system. By this way, actually the step will be, if you look over here, right, we have two colors over here. One is green, one is red. So green meaning it's a approved leave, and then the red one is a rejected leave. So if I click on the update buttons over here, right, the green color leave, if you go inside the leave application, that's why I mentioned you don't have to do manually already if you're using our software. You just take note of the date over here, yeah? 14th of August, annual leave for 1 day. So if I click on update payroll, the green color leave, they will go missing.
Okay, let's check on in the left application whether this application go in our system or not. Okay, so just now this Lee Chong Wai applied for the leave name with a description trip. So we can see the transaction, the application from the HRMS app is synced to the payroll, synced inside our payroll.
Okay, so that's it for our training for today. But the last part for it is we will go over the Q&A or any question that you have asked in our chat box. Then we will answer your questions. So the first question we have is, how can I edit the working hours for each employee?
Okay, so for this one, how we can set the working hours for our employee? Actually, we can go to maintain work section here. So this work session setting actually is to identify your employee working hours here. Okay, so you can check on this, the working start from and the work end from. Okay, so the setting is based on here. And you can add on a bit for the thing here. You can see the let in buffer and also the early out buffer. Actually, this one will be used for the ETMS lah. So for example, let in buffer I key as 5 minutes. So if the employee let in 5 minutes, will not calculate as let. And then you can set their break time also over here. And also the rules here. The rules here also for the ETMS setting lah. For next question.
Okay, actually you can maintain different type of working hours for each employee, right? So we have one is, let's say it's 9 to 6, and then maybe we have some employees is working as the night shift. So we can just put in one as a night shift. Okay, and then here let's say they work from 10 p.m. until 5 a.m. Okay, then I can just click on save. So after we have set the work session, right, we can come back to the maintain calendar here to set, let's say Lee Chong Wei, he's working under the night shift, right? So I can tick on his name, click on work schedule, and then assign him as a night shift. Okay, and then to assign here, I can just click on by months. If let's say every month he is working for night shift, I just select all. If let's say he's only working night shift for August only, then I can just set for August. Okay, once I'm done, I can just click on process. And then I come to view schedule. So I can see here for Lee Chong Wei, for the month of August, he's working under night shift. For the other month, we have not do any setting yet, so there's no work session for it. Okay. Okay, and then the next question.
Okay, for this one, hi, for the leave part, employee can apply via mobile or website. Okay, for this one is our HRMS mobile app as we just showed to you just now lah.
I think the question is asked before we show the mobile phone to you. So we can just go to the phone and then just apply the leave accordingly, and then the manager, they can do approval from there.
Okay, for the second one, balance of AL also will auto bring forward to next year. Yes, okay. For this one, just now we go to the leave type here. Okay, for this one, if you got tick for the bring forward here, when next year come, you run the leave entitlement processor, and then the leave will be brought forward to the next year, and then we'll show inside also lah.
How about working half day on Saturday? So if let's say Saturday is really a half day, let's say from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. only, then you can create another work session called Saturday and then assign to the employee for Saturday only. So you like the step we show you just now, you just go over to the visit, select the Saturday work session for this employee, and then select which particular day they'll be using these sessions. Okay, so just put 9 to 11.
Okay, and then you assign it in the calendar also.
And then view the SQL payroll data be synchronized with the SQL accounting records. Okay, actually this is no direct synchronization, but we can do is actually we can extract the data from SQL payroll, and then we can import the data into SQL accounting. Then the system will auto issue payment voucher or journal entry for you. But before you can do this, right, we have some certain settings that we have to do. We have to assign the account codes for the wages. We have to put inside which account code in accounting, for overtime into which account code. You just have to do the setting one time, and then every month just get the file and then import to SQL. But for this, right, we can roughly show you where is the setting. We have to turn on the module first. Okay, we come over here, you can see there's an option generate payment vouchers over here. So setting is we do under configure payroll, and then we can assign what account code we want to post in for the accounting part. So we have the wages type, overtime allowance, all these things. You can just preset here, and then every month you can just select the process, and system will auto insert the PV or JV date, and then will generate. So the file you get here, you can import to accounting log. And then next question, for public holiday, we have different branch of office. Can we set calendar for Selangor, Sarawak and Johor? Yes, so we have shown you just now in the maintain public holiday. Okay, so right now we have one default calendar. Maybe we can create a new one for Johor. Then we click on the Earth icon. I can just select Johor. So the system will default tick which holiday is recognized in Johor. So I can just click on OK and then click on Save. So once I'm done, right, I just assign to whichever employee is under the Johor officer. So I click on Maintain Employee, and then let's say Lee Chong Wei, I can just click on Edit, and then Grouping, under the Public Holiday Calendar, I can just select Johor. Okay, so by doing so, right, in the Maintain Calendar that we showed you previously, the public holiday for this employee Lee Chong Wei, it will be following the Johor holiday. It will not be following the default holiday anymore. Once you have changed, the system will automatically amend the settings for you. Okay, last question we have over here is, for the eTMS feature, is one feature charge 4 ringgit staff or 7 feature? For the eTMS, it's actually 4 ringgit per month for one employee. So you can decide how many employees you want to track. You don't have to follow exactly as your payroll count. Let's say in your payroll you have 20 employees, but actually you want to track attendance for 3 employees only. So you subscribe for that 3 employees will do. You are not compulsory to subscribe for all 20 employees. Okay, so I think there's no more questions that we have over here. Our training will end today, and then you can check our Facebook, and then we will announce to you our next available accounting and payroll training also. That's it for today. Thank you everyone for your time.